Hey everybody. So, Dave Hakstol has finally been fired by the Philadelphia Flyers. Literally, in the time that it took me to go take a shower from recording that last video until now, they finally pulled the plug on Dave Hakstol. This morning, it was Dave Hakstol is still our coach. This afternoon, it's Dave Hakstol is fired. Scott Gordon has been named interim head coach. That is a big deal because you know what that tells me? Joel Quenneville said no. That's probably been a large reason for all of this nonsense going on the last 24 or so hours where nobody had any clue what was actually going on. My guess is that they were going to fire Hakstol yesterday, which is why all the reports came out that he was fired. They were going to fire him yesterday and immediately wanted to replace him with Joel Quenneville. Quenneville probably didn't give them a full yes or no answer at all yesterday. Now it's gone into another day. As of this morning, Dave Hakstol was still the coach. And I assume that Quenneville probably got back to them saying, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to wait out the rest of this year. I'm not going to take a in-season coaching job. I'm not going to try and save this team. So they didn't get their big guy, the guy that they wanted in Coach Q. So they finally still pulled the plug on Hakstol, but they've just named Scott Gordon interim head coach. So they're probably all done for this season. I think they're going to pack it in and be pretty much done with this year because I don't see them coming back. And, like I just said in the last video, I think it's too late in the year for them to make any sort of huge comeback. It's already Christmas, and teams very, very, very rarely come back after Christmas. And the ones they do usually don't come from last place. And Philadelphia is in last place right now. This doesn't change anything else that I said in the last video. They're still bringing up Carter Hart way too early, not giving him a good chance to develop. This could seriously damage his career long term. If he comes up and gets absolutely shelled and gives up 6 goals in his first game and he gets all mentally done, you could literally turn a future franchise goalie into Jake Allen. Some mentally unstable, soft in the head, can't perform in big situations, Jake Allen type goaltender. You could take a potential top 5 NHL goaltender down the line and turn him into Jake Allen by calling him up too early and screwing with him mentally. And that's what the Flyers are running a real risk of doing with him. Also, they haven't yet made any sort of significant roster move. So 2 of the 3 things I talked about in the last video of what the hell are the Flyers doing still are for real. They checked one box. They finally fired Dave Hakstol. They should have done this 2 months ago. This was a long time coming. I don't know what took them so long. If they wanted to save this season, they could not have waited this long. They needed to fire him back when Mike Yeo got fired, when Todd McClellan got fired, or even earlier. Not now. It's too late now, I think. I don't see them turning their season around like that and somehow becoming a playoff team again. They have too many teams ahead of them that they would have to jump over. Too many decent teams ahead of them. Is Philly that much better than some of those teams in front of them? I don't think so. You look at team like Pittsburgh and the Islanders fighting for that 3rd spot in the Metro Division. Is Philly better than Pittsburgh? Absolutely not. Is Philly better than the New York Islanders? I don't think so. Not at this point. Is Philly better than Montreal? No. Are they better than Boston? No. Who's Philly going to jump over and knock out of a playoff spot to get into the playoffs? They're not better than any of those teams. Is Philly better than Florida? Florida's not even in a playoff spot. Florida and Philly, I think, are pretty comparable. You know, they finally fired Hakstol, which is the right move. They should have done this a month ago. They should have done this 2 months ago. They waited too long, because now they're in a even deeper hole in the standings because they have less time to dig out of it. I don't think they're going to, and they still have not made any significant roster moves. Where is it? They needed to make a major trade. Trade Simmons. Trade Voracek. Trade Gostisbehere. Trade somebody. Make a big splash on the market. They haven't done that. So they've waited way too long to change the coach. They haven't made any significant roster changes, and they're counting on a 20-year-old goaltender to come in and save their season. Not going to happen. And they didn't get their coach replacement that they wanted. That's the big thing. I think that's bigger. That's as big of news, if any, of anything, next to Hakstol being fired, is that they did not get Coach Q, which that tells me he probably just straight up told them no, and that's what I would assume they were waiting for from yesterday to today. Is an answer from Quenneville. And he must have said no, because he's not being named the head coach of the Philadelphia Flyers. Scott Gordon has been named the interim head coach. So I don't know if they're going to look elsewhere for a more long-term solution, or if they're going to just let Gordon finish out this season, and then they'll do a full coach search in the offseason. I don't know what the plan is there, but it's really interesting that it seemed like they were waiting around for Quenneville, and they didn't get him. They've named another coach. So, bad times in Philly, interesting times in Philly, a lot to talk about, but just what a dumpster fire. What an absolute dumpster fire this entire season has been for the Philadelphia Flyers. Right, even down to the firing of the coach was an absolute disaster. The news got broke a day early. Wrong news got broke, saying that they fired Hakstol and hired Quenneville. Not true at all. And now they've got Scott Gordon as interim head coach. Scott Gordon's been around the NHL for a long time. He's been around hockey for a long time. Very successful AHL coach. Not so successful with the New York Islanders and his head coaching stint there. But I don't think he's the long-term solution in Philly. I think they wanted Quenneville and didn't get him. So now Gordon's just there as a placeholder until they figure out a long-term solution, whether that's this season soon or at the end of the year in the off-season. But what a dumpster fire. So literally, I just posted the video about them not firing Hakstol, and now they have. So at least that's some good news if you're a Philadelphia Flyers fan. They finally have gotten rid of Dave Hakstol. So that's one check on the box. They still got some more to go. A lot more to go if they're going to turn this around. But yeah, with that, like, comment, share, subscribe, follow on social media. Check out offthewallhockey.com. All those links are in the description below. If you'd like to further support the channel, the link to our Patreon and merchandise store are in the description as well. Keep spreading the word about this channel. Let's keep this thing growing. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hopefully this is a step in the right direction for you Flyers fans, and I'll talk to you guys soon.